Hello and welcome. My name is Joseph Wolf, and in this part of the documentation, the scripting example, we're going to go over how Speak2Unity works, the scripts, and how you can have speech recognition in your projects in a very fast and easy method. If you haven't checked the documentation, then please do. It's important that you'll understand the system requirements and so on. I'll put links below the video. If you downloaded Speak2Unity, you should have those folders, except for the asset store tools. Just ignore that. And here we have the prefabs, scenes, scripts, and zip. In the zip folder, you're going to have the Speak2Unity Developer Edition and the demo game. So you should have those two folders. And I want you to see what happened when you first launch Speak2Unity. Inside C drive, we are going to create a directory. So let's just see that. Okay, here it is. So that's the reason users must have a C drive. The majority of the users have a C drive, so I don't see that as a big problem. And of course, the game itself can be installed to any drive. Inside Speak2Unity folder, we have the grammar and the input. So let's see what we have inside. The example grammar for the demo game, it comes with Speak2Unity and it will create itself automatically. Let's see, here we have just some basic words. And let's go over the input folder and see what happens once we say one of the words. So right now the folder is empty, but if we'll run the demo game, just need a moment to arrange the space. Don't have much space for everything. Okay, this should be good. Oh, and I can also have the program here. Start tutorial. Okay, so this was the thing I want you to see. Once you're saying some word from the grammar, it basically creates a file, and you also noticed that once you hold in the key, then there's a holding key file. So that's important. This is the basic of how Speak2Unity works. Once you say a word from the grammar, the word or a sentence, it's creating a file with that name. Okay, so for example, if I'll say hello cube, hello cube. Okay, so that's it. So let's go over the scripts. We have here two scripts. We're going to go over the player scripts in this video and the load grammar, which is a script for a later phase in the development. We're going to go over in a separate video. So let's go over the dialog script. One thing to notice about the scripts is using system.input-output. This is very important. Whenever you are using Speak2Unity, you need to add this to your scripts. If you don't, it will simply not work. One more thing I want to mention about the system input-output is, as we saw, we are creating a file, just a regular file, and we have a character limit. I said also in the documentation you have a 232 characters limit, and that's the maximum file name length we can have. And just to make it more clear what I mean by this number, so this is like the longest phrase number of character we can have. So we got that clear out of the way, and let's continue. So what also we have? Very basic booleans, nothing special here. For if the player said hello cube, or if the player said, would you like to come to a party, and also game objects for the replies. Okay, so here we have if input.getKey space, and this is what I mean by push to talk. If the player holds down the space key, yeah, very basic. Just as we saw, once I'm holding the space key, there's like an holding key, and you can change it to whatever key you like. It doesn't really matter. It will still create that holding key file. Okay, so this line creates the holding key file. No need to change that. If file exists in the input folder, if it's a low cube, then set the player set low cube to true and run a short cooldown. And the reason for the cooldown is just to reset this boolean, so we can say hello cube again, and all the process will happen again. So let's see for a moment the dialog cooldown. Okay, so here we just wait for 2 seconds, and then we are resetting the boolean and making the reply disappear. We can see that inside of Unity. You know, let's do that for a second. Okay, hold in the space. Hello cube. Oh, you must be focused on the Unity window. Hello cube. There it is. So yeah, we're simply making a boolean true. If this file exists, if the player says hello cube, then you can set it to true. And in late update, this is what happens. The reason I prefer to use late update is it's because it's being called after all the function or the update function have been called. So here I'm just checking if the files are existing, and if they do, then I'm going to execute the code that is here. So if the player said hello cube, then the cube is going to reply hi. Yeah, very simple. Okay, so let's add new words to the grammar. If the player said, "Would you like to come to a party?" is not actually a part of the example game, so we're just going to add it manually. It's a good opportunity to see how we can add words to the grammar. So if you want to add like your own words, you can of course create your own grammar. We'll do that also. Let's see. You're going to go here, grammar. Now let's create a new grammar. Let's just call it my new game. So we will have to reset Speak2Unity. Yeah, we do. And now we have the new grammar, and we can have words inside here. But we're going to edit the existing grammar. Okay, so all you need to do in order to add new words is just simply write it down, save the file, nothing special. Would you like party? Okay, it should work now. Hello cube. Would you like to come to a party? So here we go. One more important thing is reloading the grammar. What I mean by that, if for example you add in new words to this grammar, let's say, I don't know, orange, and then you save, then you need to reload the grammar. And by that, I mean what you need to do is simply click on stop and then start again, and then you can use the word orange. If you won't do that, then it will still use the old grammar. So just stop and start, refresh the grammar wherever you're editing it, and you're deleting words or adding words and so on. So this is the basic dialog script. We also have the movement script, which is very familiar, so I'm just gonna briefly go over it. If we get the space key down, we are creating the holding key file, and here we say if the player says move left, then set the boolean to true, and as before in the late update, if the cube move left is true, then we are going to move the player, we're going to move the cube in this example. Same for the right. And you can also, of course, play with the cooldown however you like. Yeah. Oh, one more thing about the cooldown. Inside Speak2Unity, as we saw, we are creating a file and then we are deleting it. And Unity is just detecting whether the file has been created or not. So Speak2Unity has like this internal cooldown, and we're talking about somewhere between half a second, maybe less, maybe more. If for some reason in your input folder you are saying words and Speak2Unity and Unity is reacting to the words, but you don't see it created inside the input folder, so that's because sometimes the cooldown is low and you won't get to see the file created, but all the process is happening on the background, so that's still okay. When you're building a grammar file, it is best if you use distinctive words. So let's say if you're using wall, ball, and fall in the same grammar, then that's not very recommended. It is better if you use distinctive words. So let's say if you climb the wall or push the ball, then you're gonna have a much better recognition process, and you won't fall like into those mistakes between wall and ball and fall in the same grammar. So it is important to try and use distinctive words. It is even better to use more than one word. You can of course use like one word, but I would recommend using more than one word if you can, if it's possible. And sentences and so on are also great. Sentences are very easy, recognizable. So yeah. Another thing that is important to notice is that we can't have empty lines in the grammar. So let's say I want to make a separation between the lines, and I'm just going to do that like this. Then I'm going to get an exception when I'm trying to load the grammar. So let's see. Here it is. So the way to do that, if we want to make some separation, is just commenting them. Let's say something like that. And then we can write movements. Okay, so like that. And I hope you enjoy Speak2Unity, and I hope you create an amazing game with it.